Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. This is your midweek check-in. Couple of things I noticed as I was grading that some people might be doing more responses than are required. So when I say that 5 responses are required, it's not 5 responses for each thread, it's 5 responses for the week. So given that there are 3 topics, right? You could do two, two, and one, 3 and 2. You can do any kind of combination of that you want to, as long as you have an initial post for each topic and and 5 total responses. Okay, total for the week, not within each thing. Okay, I wanted to get that off of my chest. I do think I've noticed that we had a little bit of a fall off or something where everybody just needs to kind of get caught up, and that we're doing that now. I'm seeing all the week 2 stuff getting filled out really quickly, and seeing a lot of people up on the week 3 boards already, which I'm pleased about. So we are in week 3 right now. Your discussion posts for week 3, all 3 of them, okay, one is again on globalization, continuing that topic. One is on Riverbend and war, and one is on nonviolent resistance. So that addresses a combination of the readings and the lectures that were for this week. Remember, you need to have done those first in order to compose your initial threads. The other things to be doing this week is to be aware of your project work. When I post the checklists, I do try to take into account everything that you'll need to do, and I'm also trying to prep you to distribute all of your project work throughout the weeks so that it doesn't become an overwhelming night before thing, either with the YouTube video or with the midterm essay. Now, I had, again, a question about this. Remember, the midterm essay does not need to be a proctored essay exam. I've learned what a hardship that is for students, and so it's very easy for me to just convert that to a regular essay. That's what I've done. That essay will be due April 18th at 8 p.m. in Dropbox. And you can go to the assignments tab right below where I have the essay. I have 2 things. One is a YouTube video chat where I just basically take you through the assignment, explain to you what I'm looking for, so I definitely recommend that. And I hope that's helpful to you. And then the other thing that I have is a handout that I give most of my face-to-face classes on citation style. And a lot of this is repeat from the essay chat, but take a look at that guideline for citation style, and hopefully it will help you in your other classes too if you print it out. Like I said, we're still a little bit behind, but I'm having some great conversations. In our consciousness raising session from last week, all of a sudden this theme about women having their own money and kind of squirreling away their own money is coming up. It's really interesting for me because I remember my mom telling me those things and telling me, you need to make sure that you have a bank account somewhere. The other thing that I've noticed coming up is a lot of addiction issues. And I pointed out on the discussion board, but I'll say again that addiction is an interesting feminist issue. Of course, we all would hope that we can get more treatment available. We know that a lot of people don't have the treatment that they need. But there's also an interesting connection to 19th century women's activism. It was a alcoholism was a huge problem in the late 19th and early 20th century. And one of the platforms of women's activists at the time, in addition to suffrage, they always said that as soon as they got the vote, they were going to pass prohibition. And that is, in fact, what they did. Interestingly, especially in Western states, the biggest contributors to the fight opposing women's suffrage, women's right to vote, was the liquor companies. So you get to see that, so you can see that corporations were involved in politics even then. But it does bring up a point where men's alcoholism is related to both domestic abuse and also to just a depletion of the finances. One of the things that one of the arguments that's made for women working, even though, as Nichelle pointed out, sometimes it doesn't always alleviate their poverty, one of the reasons that it's great for women to also be working is because more of those earnings will go towards children and towards food. Women don't have a tendency to spend a lot less money on themselves. And when I think about my mother and my grandmother, that actually makes a lot of sense. I can see that. And that's what the sociological data shows. I've been having a great conversation with Jen and me on both Baghdad burning and nonviolence. So come on in and join us. Remember, 8 p.m. today. And I look forward to hearing what you all thought about both the lectures and about this really awesome blog that has actually been turned into a book as well. Do I have it here in my study? Oh, 1 second. Here it is, Riverbend's Baghdad Burning, a book from Feminist Press. So if you ever have the desire to read the whole thing in its entirety, it's been published up for you. I think that's about all I have. The final project assignment is going to be posted this coming week. I know I've been getting questions about it already, and it is a short semester, or a short course, so we do have to get on top of that. I'll have that available for you, but you can check out the syllabus for a little preview. It's called Experimenting with Activism. It asks you to do something to get involved socially with a cause that you care about, and then to write about it, essentially. So I will have more details on that coming up, and I will see you around the discussion boards. Bye.